few confirmed transfers. Do you want to move on to some rumours that have been flying around?
Let's go on the rumour mill. Yes, of course. There's nothing better than a good rumour. Can I just address, first of all, right? I made a video yesterday, or 2 days ago, talking about the Celtic transfer news, of course, as I do. And in that video, I made a couple of major errors, I would say. So the first one was I was talking about Peterborough as if they were a championship club and not a League One club. That was just down to my own stupidity, because I was actually looking at the stats on the screen and it said League One. But for some reason, I still chose to read it out as championship. So that was just a mind blank. Plus, I don't bother with that fodder down there. Step number 2 was I got a team from Turkey wrong. From Hungary wrong and said they were Turkish. Mostly, and I knew they were Hungarian because I've came across them in FM this year. But because their name is Ferencváros, for some reason I thought of Fenerbahce. That was my thinking. I was just kind of rushing the video. I was going to work in 20 minutes time. I had to hurry.
Just amateur.
Had to hurry. And then finally someone decided to point out today, and this one annoyed me, right? This one really annoyed me, Dave, I'll tell you. I said I would like Celtic to dip into the French market again and get someone like Encham, get someone like Edouard, get someone like Dembele. And someone had the cheek to comment, "You are absolutely clueless. Moussa Dembele came from Fulham, not the French market." What's his nationality? Am I missing? But no, like, come on. He's a young French player. He's part of the young French market.
Why does it matter that he's French? He was a young player playing in England.
But he's from the French market. He's fit. Look, if you go in football, I don't want to revert everything back to Football Manager. You go to Football Manager, you sort your scouting system by nationality French. No matter what league they play in, that is a French market.
You think that's how it works in real life, do you? You're sitting there with a big like, encyclopedia of world footballers, and like, right, we'll dip into the French market today.
Well,
me. You deserve all you get. What has this turned into? It's like that show they do on the BBC where they apologise for things. What's this happening here? And also, who cares if you get a team from Hungary and Turkey mixed up? Who actually cares?
I know, exactly, mate. Thank you.
I thought you were like, you'd done something horrifically bad.
Well,
but yeah, on to the transfer rumour mill. I'll be honest, I didn't watch your video. Did you talk about Craig Gordon at all?
I didn't really know. Actually, I did not talk about Craig Gordon.
Okay, well, the rumours have been flying that he's going back to Hearts, which
he seems to
have
he's created quite a bad name for himself amongst Celtic fans now.
I know, you seem to be one of the faithful left.
I've no tweeted anything about it, mostly because I kind of want to. I've always loved Craig Gordon. I've always liked him. I think he's a gentleman. I think he's just a top. I think he's a top man. And I think he's one of the best shot stoppers I've seen in my lifetime. And being genuinely serious, across whatever team, Hearts, Sunderland, and Celtic, I think he's one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen. I think for Celtic fans to jump on his back and saying that the priority of his isn't to be here for 10 in a row, I think is slightly harsh. Like, Craig Gordon is
Gordon, do you think he actually cares about 10? He would rather help Hearts get back into the Premiership. He's a Hearts man, he doesn't deny that.
The way it goes for me is, if you're 38 years of age and you know you've only got 1-2 years left of your footballing career, would you rather spend it as third choice or spend it playing football?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. Why would he want to sit in the stand and watch Celtic play for another
I know,
year?
and that's why I feel like people are being harsh on him. And I won't deny, I think that everybody.
It's because it's Hearts. If he was going to Hibs, nobody would care.
I think for me, everybody at Celtic Football Club, their priority should be next season. For him, I think it's slightly harsh to give him this. We all know he should be off anyway. We know that his time at Celtic is done. There's not many players at Celtic in his position. We've not got Marvin Comper hanging around anymore. We've not got the likes of Johnny Hayes.
The funny thing is, the way things are going, you're only going to have one goalkeeper at the moment tied down for next season.
I know, exactly. We've only got one tied down, which is, and that's Parliament hands right there. He's got a big fucking hole in the middle like that. It's a Parliament. Look, Craig Gordon's served Celtic very well, and I think we all know that his time at Celtic was always going to come to an end.
They got him for nothing as well.
Over the last year, we knew it was going to come to an end soon. I think it's incredibly harsh for us to jump on his back for wanting to take a move to Hearts. People are saying, there's no chance Hearts are offering him more money than what Celtic are. The odds of Celtic are not offering him a great amount next year.
He's not going to be going to Hearts for the money. I've no doubt in my mind he'll take a big pay cut for the move in January.
He doesn't need them.
It comes back to the thing where football fans have got to remember that these players are not fans of the club. I mean, Craig Gordon's not a Celtic fan. He's not.
It'd be different if fucking Sorry for the language. It would sorry if Packy. It would be different if Packy Bonner came out and done this back in the 90s. Aye, of course, a big Celtic man. But it's Craig Gordon.
Like, in the 90s, to be fair, in the 90s you could understand people.
Well, we weren't going for 9 in a row, and we weren't there anyway. Or 10 in a row. But look, I think people are being incredibly harsh on him. People won't agree with me. People will naturally say, "No, get him out, Sean." But I just.
But even if people say get him out, he wants to leave. That's the whole point. Why can't
I know.
Just like?
I think he'll go happily, and I just feel like
I think this is the hypocrisy of football fans. The fact that he is willing to make a move that will see him on less money because to play football. Football players get slagged for the opposite all the time. They get slagged for taking money over playing time all the time. So this one time a player decides he wants to go for playing time rather than sitting there and collecting a bigger wage, he's getting slagged for it. You absolutely cannot win.
If the move goes through, David, and it happens, and he does go to Hearts, I'll tweet that.
Okay, man.
I'll tweet that.
You're going to clip it?
I'm going to clip it. I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to put a wee... I'm going to make a fan edit. Thank you,
Subscribe
Craig.
Here. Yes, please.
Thank you, Craig. Blah blah blah. But I think he will go. I think the time at Celtic for him is up, and I think
that as well. I'd like to
I would if he turns around and he sees this kind of backlash that he's received, I wouldn't blame him for wanting to go even more.
Craig Gordon's had backlash from Celtic fans throughout his time.
I know, and I've never understood it. Look, granted, he's made some howlers. We've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes. What goalkeeper hasn't made a howler?
But it's selective memory. I've seen Craig in his time playing for Celtic save that back line so many times, like with unbelievable saves.
Yep.
So
I think people are incredibly hard. I've never got it. I've never look until and I'll say it again. I've said it on my channel so many times, and people have snapped at me. A few have agreed, but most have snapped. Until Fraser Forster came back this season and shown how good he is again. So right at the start of 2019-20, I would have taken Craig Gordon. Celtic Craig Gordon over Celtic Fraser Forster. I would have.
Oh, that's quite a big statement.
I would have. I've said it on the channel for years, and people have always snapped at me. I think Craig Gordon is a fantastic shot stopper. Now I would change. Now I wouldn't. Now I'd take Fraser. But back then, I said it then, and I'll stick to my guns. If Fraser ever came back, I'd say the same.
Yeah, I think that the problem that Fraser Forster obviously wants to be at Celtic, and he tried to make the move happen. He'll probably try and make it happen again. The difference is Craig Gordon just wants to leave Celtic, and Celtic fans don't like that. But it's not just Celtic fans; it's football fans everywhere. It's just total hypocrisy from football fans. The fact that he wants to leave Celtic is just going to rub them up the wrong way. But they've got to remember he's not a Celtic fan. You know, if he was playing, if it was like a situation where you had like a Celtic fan who was a player who was playing at a club somewhere else who were going for something, but they wanted to leave to come to Celtic, they'd be welcome with open arms. It's just,
don't get me wrong. All the Celtic fans who do want to turn round and they do want to say, right, get yourself to, fine, your opinion, I understand that. For me, I'm always just going to stand by and respect Craig Gordon for the goalkeeper he has been at Celtic, for the awards and the accomplishments and everything he's picked up at Celtic. And he wants to move on at this stage of his career. I think all we can do is, and that's my final word on it, I think all we can do is say thank you and let him move on. We're going to find another keeper anyway. What does it matter if our third choice is now decided to leave?
Well, I mean, it matters a little bit if your first choice leaves as well.
Right, okay, right. We're presuming for now Forster will be here. I'm just saying, I mean in terms of the abuse he's gathering, David. Don't try and mix it up.
Just quickly on Fraser Forster, he's on loan, his loan ends on the 30th of June, am I right?
That would be correct.
So that's why he's still currently training. It'll be interesting to see if come the 1st of July, if he's still at Lennox Town or not.
Well, ultimately, on the 1st of July, Celtic have got a big choice to make. Do we go in for two players who will be roughly estimated around £8 million?
So how long what is his contract? Is he still got a year left?
Oh, with Southampton, I believe, yes.
See, he'll be looking at it. If I'm Fraser Forster,
have you heard the rumours? They want Arsenal and Chelsea looking at him.
But here's the thing, if I'm him, I'm thinking it's a tough choice for him because for all he might want to stay at Celtic, there is a realistic, for me, he should be in that England squad. I look at England's goalkeeping situation and Jordan Pickford's, number one, and I think he's the most overrated goalkeeper in world football. I think just because he kicks the ball really far, he's somehow amazing, being a goalkeeper.
To be fair, he has a good...
Fraser Forster will be trying to get in the England squad.
Yeah. But he can do that at Celtic.
Can he? Can he do it as well at Celtic as he could at a team in the Premiership? I don't think he could.
Probably
not because I think that
I think if he has another...
But I think with the perception that they have of Scottish football, always
I think
have that
it all comes down to Europe for me. I think if he can perform to the level he did in Europe last season, once again, if not better, then he should be getting that call at Celtic.
But then you have the thing of he has a brilliant season domestically and has 2 bad games in Europe. and that is their whole perception of his time at Celtic is based on those 2 games because they write off everything domestically. So he's got to balance that, but it'll be interesting. I think for Celtic, it's vital to keep him.
I think with Fraser, the main thing is I'm on first name terms with Fraser, of course, as well.
As you are with Johnny Hayes.
As I am with most players. The only one I've still to crack is...
Get him on the podcast then, please.
The only one I've still to crack is Mr. Julian. We've not hit it off yet. You know, we're still to share a drink. We're still to share a drink and hit it off. But no, in terms of Fraser Forster...
You need to dip into the French market, son, and get on first.
With Fraser Forster... he went on about how refreshing it was for him mentally to be back at Celtic and how it was good from that sort of thing. So I think there will be a real sort of, I don't know, not hunger per se, but I think he will want to come back up here. And I think he's seen how much it will do for him as a person and how much he's enjoyed himself and how much we are behind him. And that'll attract him for a move back up here because there's no guarantee he'll get into that Southampton squad, David. There's no guarantee.
Well, you're looking at a Southampton team who shipped 9 goals in 1 game last season.
Right, okay, they might have done. Since then, they've had a remarkable turnaround, and Alec McCarthy is once again another goalkeeper who is up for a shout of an England cap. So he's got competition. It's not going to be go back down there because he's played well here, he'll be writing goals. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl in charge of Southampton is not going to. I don't think he's going to give Fraser Forster that spot. I really don't.
Fraser Forster had already left before Hasenhüttl got the job, so you know who knows. Ultimately, I'm playing up top.
Was Hasenhüttl not there from like halfway through last season when Forster was still at Southampton?
Maybe that's right. I know he came halfway through a season, but
he came halfway through.
Well, Southampton manager before him.
I think it wasn't
Mark Hughes.
Oh, it was Mark Hughes. That was right. Aye, Mark Hughes. That was it.
Yeah. Okay.
He was sacked in February. I don't think he'll replace that McCarthy.
Well, who knows?